Alright, so this is a quick walkthrough video about some upgrades I made to our Cub Scout pack trailer. Pretty cheap upgrades, but definitely worth it. So we've got here is we put on one of those outside fans, or outside housing, so that this fan inside can be open, or the ventilation can be open. And then I've taken an old computer fan and mounted that up inside there. That allows it to continuously circulate warm air or cooler air inside of this. That then runs down across here, wired down, and that allows me to connect it to the controller. So there's a 4-way piece of wire here. These are run to directly to the fan, so that's where the solar ports are. So the solar panel itself is mounted up on the roof. That's coming in on these, and that fan is only going to come on. It's powered directly off of the solar panel, so when the sun goes down, that turns off. Then I've got a GPS transmitter that's mounted up on the roof. That's just using a bouncy. One of these, with a couple of devices, I think I'm paying like $4 a month for it, $5 a month. I think it's $7 for the normal thing, and that runs over 5G or 4G and then sends you a location on the app. And then that's hooked up to the load lines where the battery, to the battery lines. That way it's always receiving power no matter what. And I've just used an old UPS 12 volt sealed lead acid battery. These are only 10-15 bucks. They're not that expensive. And that allows me to let the solar panels charge this battery. And then for the load line, I've run the ground wire and tapped it right through the wall into the trailer so that there's a hard line. And then that also runs up this red into the trailer wiring. And what that allows me to do is run these lights. So these lights, of course, they're not going to come on right now because you have a switch here. And on there, that I just touch that activates the load. That charges that line, and now we have trailer lights. And that's going to allow these exterior lights to work. So all the exterior lights light up, and this is not connected to the vehicle. It's running off of just that little 12 volt battery. So these lines are all disconnected. And then up on the roof, you can see there's the solar panel. That's a little 25 watt solar panel. It was, I want to say 40 bucks for everything, for the solar panel and the charge controller. And then the max air. And that's just keeping all the water out of there and allows that fan to stay open and running all the time. So those little upgrades are going to give us the ability to keep this thing cool, keep everything inside here from melting. And I can GPS track it now. That's where the bouncy is mounted, is up there, because when it was mounted down in lower, it really didn't get a good consistent GPS signal. So now it's getting a good GPS signal. It's continuously sending out. And then I've even got a little USB port here. I'll probably later upgrade this with a little 12 volt distribution channel with fuses for things, and probably a few more USB ports so that I can charge other devices. But even in a pinch, I could charge up a phone or something else off of just this. So probably total maybe $50-$60 for everything, but that's because that fan, that $20 fan, I already had. Other than that, that's good little upgrades you could probably make to your enclosed trailer that make it a little more useful. I did add some shelving in here. Let's see if I can zoom out here. You can see some of the shelving that we did, where it's just using wire, aircraft wire twisted down, and that hangs from the ceiling. That way these things are super strong. They're easily going to hold probably 100 pounds per shelf, easy, 200 pounds, and allows us to store everything inside here. Pinewood Derby track. And now the trailer itself is kept in a very secure location, so it's unlikely to get stolen again. But if it, even now when it's moving, it sends an alert to everyone in the pack. It lets us know that the trailer is on the move. It tracks when we get to Boxwell and other things. But the really nice thing is that now it's going to stay cool, and we have the ability to just come here, touch that button, and turn off all those exterior lights, and everything should be maintained.